For the first part of the program, we're going to have our award winners from the past merchandisers of the year. And then in the second half of the program, we have some vendors coming on to tell us about some things that they're going to be doing, some programs they have, and they're, where they're going to be at the show. So it's an opportunity to kind of hit the ground running here. One of the things that we've done on the education committee, and which is Sam is also a co-chair, so not only a presenter, but part of the education committee this morning, is we've tried to reach out to our award winners from the past, and that's what we did today. Sam Wiley is a past merchandiser of the year, as is Katie Wiedmar at Wingfoot, and Kirk is our current merchandiser of the year. So the room outside of myself has a lot of talent here with regards to merchandising. And one of the things we did with education this year is people who present, such as our three presenters today, they're also, an opportunity for you, if you have questions going forward, to call or email, these professionals, because they're very good at what they do. They think outside the box. They create a lot of unique programs for their members and clients. And in Katie's case, she has national members, which is an entirely different program than most of us are involved with at our club. So, this is a very good resource, and I'd encourage you to take advantage of it, right? The whole idea for me when I go to a seminar and what I want to find out today is, can I glean a few things from today that makes me a better golf professional, right? And so with that, we're going to turn it over to Sam, who is currently residing in Florida. Sam has got the ability to play golf with his members. So that's kind of an opportunity that he's going to enjoy today. Sam, welcome. How is Florida treating you?
That's great. Great to be down here. I haven't had an opportunity to do this in a long time, so it's been quite enjoyable. And been down here about a week now and have a couple more weeks to go before I have to head back north. So yeah, thanks for moderating today, and thanks for Caitlin for putting all this together. Yeah, as John mentioned, I had the opportunity to come down here and spend some time with my members, which I think is a unique thing. I think it's something we all enjoy doing, certainly getting out of the cold from the Northeast and getting down here and spending some quality time with our members and kind of getting to know them a little better. Also, certainly as we head into the PGA Show, one of the nice things about it, as I'm sure we all do, whenever we're visiting these various clubs, it gives us the opportunity to kind of take a look around their golf shops, kind of see what type of apparel they're stocking for men's, women, kind of unique specialty gifts or whatever they may have in their shop. So, beyond the niceties of being able to stay warm and get some golf in, it's also continues to be a learning experience, and I enjoy all that. So it's been good. Go ahead.
Yeah, Sam, one of the things that I've always respected and admired about your shop is, like, every time I go into your shop, I see things that I don't often see at other shops. And I've always been impressed with your ability to think outside the box there. And I always think back to what I've declared as one of your famous quotes is, you can only sell so many golf shirts. So one of the things I'd like to, for you to talk about with us this morning is how you come up with these different ideas and share with our other members, the different things that you do that most golf shops don't do.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, John. Yeah, especially at, we're not all as fortunate to be at Wingfoot's or Shinnecock's or Westchester, where you have a lot of guest play.
Here's what you asked for.
Yeah, exactly. So most of my play is member play. And, if I have 10 to 15% of my play as guest rounds, that's probably a lot. We did go through a new logo change back a couple of years ago, and that certainly proved to be an uptick in our sales. It's come back a little bit, but it's still probably 25% north, maybe even more of where it was. So it's been, a big win there. But back to your comment, or my comment about you can only sell so many shirts. Again, and trying to grow my business over the years, I thought about different avenues, different lifestyle pieces before kind of lifestyle became kind of a buzzword in our industry. At Wiedmar, we have a lot of different amenities. So we have a beach club, we have a gun club, and those were a couple of things that, I kind of focused on. So for a while, I was doing some beach club type merchandise, unfortunately, because the two facilities are separated by about 12 or 15 minutes. I didn't have a retail store there, so it didn't kind of resonate as much as I thought it might. But one of the things I did with our gun club, and this is probably 15, 16 years ago, I was familiar with the Barber wax cotton jackets and clothing from England. And so I opened an account with Barber. I went to New York City, and that's where I viewed the line. And, I spent a lot of time down there. And again, beyond kind of the natural progression into what the gun club is, it's kind of a fashion piece, if you will, in our area in Fairfield County, Connecticut. It's a little preppy, and people like to wear it. And so that was certainly one of my avenues. And it can kind of stem from the fact that I needed something that was a little bit beyond kind of the traditional golf. At that time, you can only buy golf as golf. And, when you have, I'd say Polo certainly is a lifestyle brand, but Polo Golf never really was. But Peter Millar really became that extension of lifestyle, whether it be footwear, whether it be kind of their mountainside collection with kind of their off-course wear, and some just different pieces that I would transition to in the fall. And, and that probably begins September 1st. And I continue to do that today with obviously all the Millar brand. I've actually stopped with Barber at this point in time. I don't know if we became oversaturated. But we do different things, and I mean, I'm sure many of you are doing shoes, and we've done shoes and shoes lifestyle, and we had the opportunity to do not only shoes lifestyle, but we did lifestyle and ski this year as a trunk show in the fall. You don't get quite the same pricing, you don't get quite the same wholesale pricing, but again, it just expands your offerings to your membership, and I think that's really incredibly important as you try to grow your business and grow the loyalty to you in the golf shop. So
how did that trunk show? How did that all come about? Because when we had one of our meetings, I walked in and I saw racks and racks of ski jackets. And how did you go about putting all that together?
So unfortunately, I don't have a picture of it, but my shop manager took some great photos, and we were fortunate to have Luke Reese and our local rep Amy McCarthy come, and they were tremendous. They were exceptional, and this has been something I've been doing for many years, honestly, just having this kind of fall trunk show sale. This was the first year that I had the opportunity to bring in some of the ski wear, and it went great. Again, not everybody's going to buy $1,500 jackets, but again, we offer a small discount, so they're getting it cheaper or less expensive than they would be able to find it elsewhere. And again, if that just helps meet that need, we were able to do it. And we put it, we kind of did a champagne and shoes has been kind of our theme through that. So we'd have champagne served, we'd have wine and cheese and that type of stuff. And so we kept it in theme, and we have it over in our main clubhouse. We take over kind of our lounge, and it takes up a lot of space. They send in a lot of merchandise, and certainly is a way to grow your business without a lot of inventory exposure, because they take it all back. They're basically just bringing it in to kind of try it on, to kind of show it, and then we pack it up and either send it on to another club or back to the company.
So then, did they staff this?
One of the other things I'm going to talk about, and obviously we got to talk about the. Yeah, they had basically Luke, who's basically the owner of the company, and our sales rep. Yeah, and then I have my staff over there, so it really
must be a good experience for your staff to see how other people go about their business when they're in it full time.
Yeah, I'm sure Kirk and Katie know Luke. I mean, and many on this call. I mean, there's nobody that sells better than Luke. I mean, he gets down on his knee and putting the zipper on the people. It's like almost
he's very passionate.
To say the least.
And I was going to jump in, Sam.
Yeah,
these trunk
please.
shows are great because it shows the membership. You're showing initiative to do something different. And again, you might be carrying not the ski jackets, but you might be carrying most of the items they already have that are on those racks. but they're seeing them in a new light. They're seeing them in the clubhouse. They're drinking champagne. And it's just great for them to, feel like you're doing something special for them when really you don't have anything at stake. They're bringing these in. If they only sell 4 pieces, oh, well, they sold 4 pieces. But, we bring in for our ladies opening day, we do a few we do vendors for trunk shows. And these are vendors that we don't have space for in the shop. So it's a great opportunity. You can only carry so many different brands. So the members are getting exposure to these brands, but I don't have to carry them in inventory. So trunk shows are great. And especially someone like Shoes would be phenomenal.
That's a really good idea, Katie, about because, women are always interested, much more fashion oriented than we are as men, right?
Mhm.
And this gives you the opportunity, like you said, to show them something. Plus, if I'm seeing that, I just have a lot more respect for you in your merchandising role and wanting to take care of me. I feel like that's a really personal thing that you're doing for them.
Right.
You go that extra yard.
Absolutely. And anytime you join alcohol into it, it's always a good thing. It's a good incentive for them.
You are from
Yeah,
Kentucky.
one of my members who's a yeah, and kind of one of my customers, she's a member, but she is one of kind of the top 5 people at Polo Ralph Lauren and the entire. She used to run the Americas, North and South America. I mean, she was in there shopping. She loved it. I introduced her to Luke, and they knew each other. Because Scott Mahoney and they had worked together back in the day, and so she was certainly appreciative. She had her daughter come in, her husband came in, so people are very certainly brand aware of that, and whenever they see kind of an opportunity to come in and see it, and like I said, in a different forum, a different setting, with many different offerings that you wouldn't typically see, just due to the space constraints you have in a golf shop.
Yeah, it's a very unique
So,
way.
one of the other things, John, as far as
I just think that's unique because there's no inventory, right? There's no outlay of dollars.
yeah,
It's added revenue.
yeah, and if you want me to continue down that theme just a little bit, obviously, at the PGA show, I kind of look for those unique kind of opportunities and different offerings, and certainly one that kind of sticks out in my mind this year is the Faraday brand. They're going to be at the PGA show. That's again a lifestyle company. They have standalone stores, and I'll be curious. I've already communicated with kind of the contact that'll be there at the show, but I'm not sure if we're going to have the opportunity to see the full line or have access to the full line. But again, if you want to grow your brand, there is a large retail store in our town that stocks it. I've worn their product. I really like their product. Again, it's for those of you that may know kind of our area of retail, Mitchell's and Richards and our world, and Marsh's over, I think, in Huntington are kind of the local stores, and they're probably the premier private retailer, and that's one of their key brands beside Peter Millar. And then from there, those are kind of their entry levels, and then everything else is kind of Italian designers. But I think that'll be a nice opportunity. And I think again, one of the comments kind of, I would say, beyond the PGA show is I like to see product kind of displayed in kind of a different setting than just kind of on a rolling rack or on a table. And so I'm going to look at the opportunity, maybe go into New York City to their showroom. I've certainly done that with Polo and with Summit Brands. I just think, again, seeing it kind of fully merchandised in different color groups or by SKU, I think is really helpful.
And
so
Sam on Greenwich
yeah.
Avenue, they have a storefront as well that we went and visited, and it's really nice.
Yeah, I just think it's something different than golf, and really important to do. And we had a quick chat before, but one of the things that I'm down here, not only playing some member golf, but we're going to use Friday as an opportunity to go see Summit Brands at the Bungalow in Jupiter. And unfortunately, they are not at the PGA show. They've made a decision not to spend their dollars that way. But I certainly do need to see their product, and again, just kind of lines up with my trip. And then Peter Millar now has a showroom on Donald Ross down here in Jupiter. So that'll be a day of kind of visiting both of those companies. So again, just trying to knock things out before I get to the show and try to be efficient with my time.
I had a
One of the
question
Yep.
for the three of you, actually. So when you merchandise, like, okay, so you had your layout of your shops in 22, now you're going into a new season. Do you move things around, like coming into the 23 season? Do you move the ladies department around a bit and the men's department around a bit and bags and so forth? You know, just so if I walk in the shop, I kind of don't know where anything is, but that's kind of a good thing. It makes me look around.
I mean, I'll start and be brief, but you know, we don't flip men's and women's. I've done that before. The ladies is closer to the ladies' locker room, so they enter that way. So it kind of takes them head on. We do rotate, obviously, the merchandise probably every week to 10 days. So, you know, you don't know whether, you know, the polo's in the same, it's not going to be in the same spot it was, or the Zero or whatever brand, Peter Millar. It's all going to be moving around because, again, it's amazing once you change that location or change kind of the display, that they go, wow, when did you get this? And it could have been something you had for 30 days
6
or
months ago.
45 days. And, you know, all of a sudden, you know, it flies out the door. But, you know, in our world, our ladies business is really important. So I bet you 40% of our space is allocated to the women's, 35 to 40%. It's a strong seller and they like it. And the women from, you know, some of the area clubs will come by, or if they're playing interclub golf, you know, and they love coming to shop at our place. So it's a little mini wins for us. So it's good.
Yeah, similar to what Sam's belief is, we don't like to change the product categories into other places, like switching the juniors to where the men's would be, or the golf clubs in the front area, or wherever they previously were. But we do constantly move displays around. When we reopened our new golf shop in 2018, I made that a point of emphasis that we need to have movable fixtures so we can constantly be changing the displays. But at the same time, you don't want to confuse the members and customers to where they don't know where to, you know, go. And sometimes people don't always feel comfortable asking questions. So you just want to make it as shoppable and easy as possible, but definitely mixing it up a little bit.
How often do you move stuff around, Katie?
Oh, once a week. Absolutely. Yeah. And then, yeah, we're fortunate. Some of the vendors, they stop by and see us, and they kind of fluff and fold and lush up their sections. So it gives our staff a break from having to do that every day.
Yeah, nothing like having a vendor to fold.
Yeah. I guess when you, yeah. Oh, Kirk, you're on mute.
Hear me now? I would
thank you.
agree. We don't change our men's and women's sections like Sam and Katie. We change up the displays. I will say that as everything has evolved to tech, I think we really try to buy specifically for our areas where we can fold. So much stuff is hanging these days, so we do sort of look at tables and spaces that we have to fold and really kind of think about what merchandise would be there these days. But agreed. I think changing it and making it new, especially the people that come often, you'll often catch their attention with a different display.
Yeah, I know, as you know, as a male shopper, shopping is one of those things in life that the more I can avoid it, the happier I am. So when I go in to buy stuff, I want to be as fast as I can. I want it to be as expedient as I can. I want to grab my colors, you know, so it's just like, the better organized it is, the better chance you have of getting into my pocket. You know, I just don't want to spend hours shopping.
Yeah, and selfishly, we don't want you in there either, lurking around for an
No,
hour.
you definitely don't want me in there lurking around.
We save
I
the
agree.
people that are just taking their sweet time. It's a challenge for the staff as well.
I'm sure it is. So it's just, so I think, you know, the easier you make it for me to buy something, the more likely I am to buy. And I like the idea of moving things around because it gives it a fresh look.
Absolutely.
Sam, you
So-
were talking to us earlier about something called the Chicago Collective.
Yes, so I'm gonna do something for the first time. I'm going out to the Chicago Collective. Again, it's kind of off, certainly non-golf. I'm looking to see a vendor out there that I've liked some of their product. It's not right for everybody. There's a lot of different kind of shirt jackets and outerwear and some different pieces. The one company I'm going to see is called Relwyn. They're out of Columbus. It's kind of a very small operator, but it's some stuff that I've bought over the years. So I'm going to go out to see them, and I'm just going to take a walk around there. It's just something that to me is interesting and part of like what I do when I'm not only traveling, playing golf with my members at other clubs, but when I'm shopping, I love to go into different, great retailers and take a look around and make notes on kind of different vendors that they may be stocking or different kind of styles that I might not have seen within a vendor. So yeah, it's early February. I'm not sure that's the ideal time to go to Chicago, but I guess that's the price I pay after being in Florida for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
So,
well, you can only take so much hot weather, Sam. You gotta give that tan a rest.
exactly. So yeah, so I'm going to be doing that. And again, it'll be an opportunity to kind of look around and we'll see how that all plays out, John.
So on a monthly basis, say, what percentage of your shop, Sam, would you say is not your traditional golf apparel, golf vendor?
Well, I would say in season, it's small. It's a small percentage. Now, I don't know whether that's 10, 15% or what have you, but
Right.
you take different vendors, and I probably think of shoes and maybe Zero Restriction as golf brands, but they offer product that is somewhat non-traditional or kind of on course, off course. So that, that's kind of where that would fall. As I move towards, like I said, my September time, that
Right.
number moves much higher. And that's
So you're
probably
using
closer
shoulder
to
season.
75%, quite honestly.
Really?
I'll have my golf shirts. Yeah, I'll have a large percentage of it again, and that could be sweaters or quarter zips, and maybe some of it's on course, but some of it's not. Some different type of things like that for sure that are, I guess, less traditional golf. Probably, some of it could still be worn on course, but it definitely moves to a greater than 50% percentage.
How about vendors supplying product? How are we doing with supply chains?
As far as I'm concerned, again, I think that's in 2022, I had kind of the logo I was riding. I was also kind of anticipating again, and my sales were probably as similar to 21, but my cost of goods were higher. But I did take some deeper inventory positions, and so the reality of it is a lot of it is solids or simple stuff. It's really more in the men's wear area. So we've taken a look at things, and my staff, who are great in helping assist me with that, have taken a look and trying to amend orders for spring so we can just bring that back out. And again, just kind of change our orders and change kind of our quantities in certain areas. So kind of my take on it.
Katie, do you and Kirk, especially out there, because you're a little bit colder than we are, in here. Do you find it a lot of outerwear, a lot of layering, sweaters, vests in the springtime? Are you heavier in the springtime, obviously?
Definitely, yeah. My buying's probably very unique compared to the other two. The large quantity of what we do is for like April delivery, spring. I mean, there's oftentimes I don't even buy fall for some brands. But yes, I think, people think the Hamptons is going to be really, really warm, and honestly, they wear quarter zips until mid-June here. But yes, I would say it's very heavy. Yeah, it's changed for sure in terms of the season. It feels like it, but yes, quarter zips and sweaters and things are very heavy, but unique here in terms of when we need it. We lose a lot of our people in the fall, so we have to be somewhat conservative with fall business here.
Yeah, makes sense. Katie, you see a similar trend at Wingfoot?
Yeah, it's one of those things. We obviously go heavy with the outerwear in the beginning of the spring and whatnot, but I've noticed just an overall trend is kind of how Sam said, how many shirts can you sell? I think a lot of people, we all have a billion golf shirts. So now they're actually preferring quarter zips and pullovers and outerwear. We just in general, we've just seen a bigger shift towards that because a quarter zip, I can wear this over a t-shirt to the gym. I can use it for a lot more functionality reasons. I'm only wearing as a female, I'm only wearing a golf shirt to play golf. I'm not wearing that anywhere else.
Mhm.
So I've definitely noticed a trend in that. And then especially like with ladies, a guest will come in and what should I buy my wife? Well, does she play golf? Well, no. Okay, well then let's not get her a golf shirt. Let's get her
Let's get her
something that she's
functional.
gonna actually wear. So I would say just overall our outerwear trend is definitely heading that direction. And obviously their pieces are more expensive and you get a little bit more bang for your buck with that one.
And I think I've noticed with the outerwear, which is much more so than in the past, is a lot of these companies are sending you, in their advertising or their email blasts and so forth. They're sending you all these different outerwear pieces blended together, with your vest, with your jackets and so forth. And I find myself buying more golf stuff just to wear around, around town or when on my day off when I'm out, running errands and what have you.
Absolutely.
So that seems to be like a bigger growth market than it's been in the past. All right, Sam is going to play some golf today. Sam, we're happy to have you on here and happy that you're playing golf. And we expect big things out of you today on the golf course with your members, Sam.
Thanks, John. I'll stick around here a little bit. I got a little bit longer, but I appreciate it. I'll continue.
Yeah, you don't want to miss Katie.
You better believe it.
I don't know about that.
Oh, come on.
More nuggets of wisdom. I like it.
Well, I first met Katie when she received the Merchandiser of the Year award. And Katie was one of the first people to be presented that evening. And then when Katie left the stage, I felt bad for everybody coming after her because she stole the show.
John, how much are people paying you to say this nonsense? This is ridiculous.
Your mother and I have become very close, Katie.
Okay,
Let's just leave it at that.
That's
right?
fair.
But Katie has a wonderful sense of humor. She takes her job very seriously, but she doesn't take life too seriously. So she always keeps us laughing, and it's always a pleasure to interact with her, as it was that evening. Fortunately, I didn't have an award that evening, so I didn't have to follow that show. So Katie, tell us a little about what's going on with you and Wingfoot and some of the things that you're doing differently this season.
Absolutely. So this year is actually going to be very interesting for us. It's our centennial. So I just feel like the past 10 years I've been here, there's always been something every couple of years. We had the USGA 4-ball, we had the golf shop redo, we had the US Open. Now we have this, and then they just announced last week that we got the 2028 US Open. So I just feel like every year there's something we're leading up to. But yeah, this year we have the centennial, and I'm going to talk about that with the different logos that I've helped create and the different ideas we're using with those centennial. But definitely every year's busier than the next, and this will be even more busy because we have extra events on the calendar.
Because of the centennial events?
Centennial, they have a gala in the spring that they're going to be doing. One of the cool things that I like that they're bringing back is a lot of people don't realize that Wingfoot, when it first started, they had the wicker baskets like they have at Marion.
Oh, cool.
So we're actually getting those produced. I have prototypes and all that fun stuff, and we'll have those for a few member events throughout the year, which I'm pretty excited about.
So you're going to use the wicker baskets for your flag sticks?
Yes, on both
That's
courses.
Cool. I love that. I mean,
I think
it's one of the coolest things you see, right?
Exactly. And again, not many people know that they had that at Wingfoot. They just, you initially think of Marion. So it'll be fun. And then again, there's tons of other events that they've got going, as well as our normal busy schedule. And we have Monday outings from the first Monday in May through the last one in October. So
of course you do.
Just another day at
basket be
Thunderdome
included?
here at Wingfoot.
Katie, will the basket be included in your logo, your centennial logo?
It's not.
It's not, okay.
I'll show you those logos. I think that could have been pretty cool. And I'm already thinking about, like, when I meet with Smathers and Branson down at the show, I know Marion has like a belt where they have their logo, and then they have, the flag sticks and whatnot. So the baskets. So I was thinking the Centennial logo that I'm going to show you all, maybe have the baskets alternating just to have
That'd be
something
awesome.
different. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the opening day, like, brochure pamphlet that they had. Oh, sorry, this is blurry. Nope. Okay, there we go.
There you go.
So that was the original logo. New York Athletic Club members started Wingfoot. And so it had the box and then these long clubs. So you'll see we changed it up a little bit, but that's the actual opening day pamphlet. So that's what they based the logo off of.
Cool.
And you also have a members logo?
Yep,
correct?
I'm gonna touch upon all of that. I've got a little PowerPoint prepared. So I'll start off just kind of when I go to the show, what, to prepare for that. And then I'll transition into the logos we have, and then which then leads into our microsites. We have one set up for our Centennial, and then we also just have them throughout the holidays. So just little things. And again, anybody feel free to butt in, but let me just go ahead and start this PowerPoint off right there. So before I arrive, I always kind of like assess what we need first. So I talk to our coworkers we have here at the shop, and then I just walk around, look at inventory, say, all right, what are we missing out on? What have you all seen at another course that you thought was cool? What are you all looking at on Instagram or various golf accounts that you think would be nice to have in the shop? Something that you feel like we're missing. Also, I then go visit other shops as well. We all have a lot more time this time of year than we do in season, but when we are in season, we play in different tournaments. We get invited for members to play other courses. I recently was out in Los Angeles and played some nice spots out there. And I, as someone that has access to anything I could ever want with golf, when I go to golf courses, I don't look for a golf shirt or a pullover. I have a billion of those. And unfortunately, I can't really even wear those because I have to represent Wingfoot and that kind of thing. So I'm constantly looking for just a hat, a t-shirt, a hoodie, things like that I can wear when I'm not at work. So I went to those different shops, and they'll remain nameless. And it was tough for me to find that product category. So I just want us to reiterate, not everyone when they come in your shops just looking for a golf shirt or a hat. They're looking for something different. So make sure you're taking care of all of the different product classifications when you go to build your buy for the year, and examine your financials. Obviously, there's a lot of great reports that we all have access to on our point of sale system. We have Jonas here. I do sales by categories, fast and slow sellers. And obviously just kind of, I can just watch and see what's moving and what's not, and what people are asking for. I don't know about your members. Some of our members, they don't have a problem telling you things they saw at other places and that they would want in our shop. So just listening to feedback, and then just paying attention, when guys are coming in with a cool hat or a cool pullover or a golf bag that's different, paying attention to what's out there. And then if it makes sense for your club, bringing it in. I just started to look at the exhibitor list for the PGA show, and I start kind of highlighting the ones, read the little blurbs about each of the companies and see what would make the most sense for us. And then I like to check those out once I get there, and then I start to build my schedule around that.
Hey,
go ahead.
Use a PGA app?
I don't use,
The show app?
I've never used the app, but that's just a personal problem that I have. But maybe this year I have so much, I need more storage on my phone and that kind of thing, but that could be something that could definitely happen this year.
So you need a new phone, is that what you're saying, Katie?
I need a lot of things, but yeah, that would be at the start. But
One of the things I liked about the app is it puts all the vendors in there, so I can go in and highlight all the vendors.
yeah,
And then when you make your list, what the app does also is it
Yeah.
puts them in numerical order from lowest to highest. So then I can just, I start working certain owls and, rather than running back and forth, because, that show is just forever big.
yes.
And, and at some point in the day, I've just had, too many steps.
Yeah, I don't need my step count up, especially if I'm in heels. So I try to limit that and walk along the outside so I don't get trapped or anything. And when I build my schedule, I definitely do not overbook. I've made that mistake before.
All
I
right.
think the busiest day I have scheduled is 3 sales appointments, just because, and those are with t-shirt and accessory companies, to where they're making custom designs for us and we have to talk through those and change things. It's not with vendors that, everyone has access to and we're just throwing a logo on it. So I'm very conscious of the people I'm meeting with. And then from there, it gives me plenty of time to walk around and see vendors that we don't have or have carried before.
Right. So it's a good source for new product, just walking the aisles.
Exactly. Exactly.
So Katie, you don't see your big apparel vendors for either men or women down there typically?
We don't. Very similar to you, Sam. We're gonna go to the bungalow down for Summit Golf Brands after the show, those couple days afterwards. Ralph Lauren, Peter Millar, they're set up at Westchester, or if we wanted to meet with them in their showroom in the city, they're very flexible. But we're very fortunate that, yesterday Travis Matthew came to the shop. So we have access to those big companies on our own time. I'd rather devote it towards these smaller companies that I don't get an opportunity to see throughout the year.
Katie, how do you engage your members to find out, their interest? Because like you were saying before, they're, for the most part, they're very willing to share their opinions on your shop
Mhm.
in your inventory. But do you have certain ways to engage them to make sure that you're, meeting their needs?
Absolutely. Yeah, I jokingly say they don't have a problem telling us what they want, but you definitely just want to listen to what they say, because there's been plenty of them that have had great ideas and we've taken off with them. And again, just observe what their tendencies are, when guests come in, kind of what they're wearing from other clubs. We have done focus groups in the past,
Mhm.
and those have been really good. Like we had FootJoy one year, they had their whole variety of styles, and the members showed us what they liked and didn't like, and kind of helped FootJoy for the next season. I just have noticed that some of our members, they don't, you have to educate them more. They think like, we have access to anything we could ever want. Well, we only have access to what the catalog offers us. So yeah, you might like that shirt in pink, but that's not available. So it just, sometimes those focus groups, they kind of lose sight of what is actually available to us. And then we've also done surveys in the past, but I mean, I just think having just a good open conversation day in and day out is much more beneficial than these structured events, because you just get a lot more out of it.
You had mentioned FootJoy. Do you stock a lot of footwear or do you order?
We have, I would say probably 3 styles of different vendors. So FootJoy, we might have 4 styles. Adidas, we might have 3 styles. Nike, 4 styles. And then from there, we, as we're, fitting someone, if they need it right away, they forgot their shoes at home, they obviously need to take something that we offer in stock. But if they're just kind of looking to see what's out there, we pull out the catalogs, we go online, pull them into the computers and go through each offering that they have, and then we special order them. And with
Mhm.
those obviously not having a logo, if they have them in stock, you can get them within, 3 to 4 business days, which is great.
Yeah, it is. You don't have to worry about carrying a lot of inventory.
Yeah, we don't have to have boxes. And then obviously at the end of the season, having to ship them all back for credit and whatnot. So I try not to carry too much footwear on hand.
Sounds like a good third assistant's job.
Yes.
Hey, Katie, if I could weigh in or ask the question. So footwear, I think, has become very unmanageable. I think it's a very challenging area as to whether it has cleats or is it, kind of the molded bottom footwear. So that's a pretty accurate, are you only stocking 3 vendors at this point for, say, men's shoes?
So
and
men's
then like
men's
4
right
styles
now,
within each?
yeah, men's right now, I'd say FootJoy probably has about 4 styles. Nike, again, not now, let's say the start of the spring. We don't have
Yeah.
much inventory right now. Say Echo 3 to 4 styles, Nike 3 to 4, Adidas 3 to 4, FootJoy 3 to 4. We brought in G4, I think that was 3 styles. And then Quater, I don't know how the heck to say it, but the Travis Matthew
Okay,
shoe brand, which that's more casual situation.
that
Again,
sounds,
making sure all of them are on wheels to send it back.
Yeah, no, there's been just so much creep into, everybody's got a, Puma and G4 now and all these different things. It's become very difficult to manage and kind of keep your inventory and then store them. I mean, I don't have a lot of storage in my back office. So, all of a sudden you have 180 pairs of shoes or 200 pairs of shoes.
I
back there,
know.
and it's just ridiculous. So bad, but okay. Thanks for clarifying.
Absolutely.
Katie, you had mentioned microsites, which was
Yeah.
a new word to me. Tell us about microsites at Wingfoot.
So absolutely. So for us, we first we'll start with the Ralph Lauren. What we like to do in the holidays, and as we mentioned earlier, we have a lot of national members as well as the locals. So these microsites, the vendors set them up on their own. And basically it's a online platform. As you can see on this slide, it says, shop now. You would click that button and then there's this access code. Once you're in there, they go through this entire product offering and you can see each of the items they're showing. They give a little blurb about each one of them. And again, this was just what we did with Ralph Lauren this holiday. And for example, we're not bringing in these merino joggers to sell in the shop. We just don't have space for them. This is a great way for members to go on there and they can go through all of these products that we don't have this, like we would never carry this flannel thing in the shop. They can go on there and buy it. They can do whatever they want. They can have the logo. They can not have the logo. And then it can just get drop shipped directly to them. We have nothing at stake. We don't have any inventory that we have to carry. And it's a great gift guide because they can do it from the convenience of their home. So we've done this before with Ralph Lauren. As I mentioned, kind of with the trunk shows, we've done this with Ivy Cools, the sun protection company. We only carry a little bit of it in the shop, but this presents an opportunity for them members to access it, even if we don't have it in the shop. So
it's Sam's Trunk Show online.
It's Sam's Trunk Show online, and it's great because they send you all the promo material, and you don't have to really do much at all.
And they set up the site.
Yeah, there's
Now,
a site. So
and then how do you go about payments?
The companies themselves, they send over kind of like a spreadsheet. Joe Smith ordered 2 cashmere sweaters, and then we just get billed for them. And just like we regularly do, you get an invoice and charge Joe Smith for the 2 sweaters on their member account.
And you never have to touch anything other than their money.
Yeah, and I like doing that.
Well, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
And
That's
then,
why you're Katie Wiedmar, right?
Yeah, and then this year with us, how I mentioned, we have the Centennial. They set up these. So to the right is our normal logo that's on everything in this golf shop before this year. The original logo that I showed you all on that opening day pamphlet is the red foot. And so the items we started carrying them in this winter just for the holidays, just to have something different to sell in here. So it'll have the 1923 on it. From there, they shrunk down the clubs and removed the 1923, and that's the members only logo.
Okay.
So that's moving forward. I would assume the Centennial will only be kind of sold this year just because there's the buzz about it. But in the next few years, we won't carry that anymore because we'll have the new US Open logo. But Summit Golf Brands created us this Centennial members only website to where they can order that member only logo, which is on the top left there. And it's super easy to navigate. So this is just a screenshot of it. But if we click the link, we're now into the microsite.
Okay,
I want a B. Dratty shirt. I love this one. Let's do that. You just enter in your quantity and you just go through, add it to your cart. And then at the very bottom, you know, you have your name, where it's shipping to, bing, bang, boom. It's over from there.
you're done. Online shipping at Wingfoot, right?
Yep, it just gets drop shipped directly to the member. They've got ladies pieces. It's been really great. I think we ended up doing close to 50,000 in sales just from this site alone. And again, this was just something different. They get to access the member only logo. We haven't quite figured out this season if we're going to have a little members only logo or members only section in the shop, similar to how they have it at Pine Valley, where they have that separate room. We don't really have a room locked away.
Right.
So we're still trying to figure out if we're going to just offer it to where they can only special order, or if, you know, it's going to be, you know, they can actually buy it in the shop. And
Yeah, this seems
somehow,
like a really good idea going forward, right? For a number of brands.
yeah, oh, absolutely. And that's what I was going to ask you all, if you all have seen any other companies do this. I somehow negotiated for Summit Golf Brands to also have Seamus on here. They're doing this. So our tartan design, where it's this navy blue and red plaid, that's our own trademark tartan that we're going to have for the Centennial items. So people can also go on here and buy head covers and different things with the tartan design on it.
I don't see why a company wouldn't do it, right? It's going to add to
It's a
their
home,
revenue,
it
their
is an
sales.
absolute
home
home
run.
run. We have
Definitely.
been very happy with every microsite. Again, we don't have to do much. They send us all the promos and email blasts to send out. All we have to do is just send it out and get paid.
Plus, they have the opportunity to sell, basically to sell the Wingfoot member something that you would never carry,
Exactly.
you know, because it's
Yeah.
just, who knows what people like, right? Or,
Exactly.
you know, what they want to buy as gifts. That's a really cool idea. I like that a lot.
Yeah. But it's
Just
been
the
good
way,
so far.
weigh in quickly. Yeah, I love this idea too. And again, I didn't do as much of it this particular year, but back to our gun club, we do have a gun club logo, and they were adamant that, you know, they wanted some offerings or whatever. So it turned out to be not much of a kind of a non-event, but nonetheless, Summit Brands was able to put a microsite together, kind of images with the gun club logo, and we could send it out to all the, you know, our membership that actually uses the gun club. And again, it was no inventory issue and a very small turnout, but it was, again, something really popular and fun to do.
Good idea for you, Rob Gick, out at Sands Point, right? Because they shoot skeet in the fall out there all day long.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm opening this up to everyone. I just didn't know if anyone's seen it success in any other brands that has offered a microsites. These have been the main ones so far. Ralph Lauren, Summit Golf Brands, and then again that Ivy Cools as well.
Yeah, I could see something like this just catching on like overnight. You know, it's
Yeah,
everybody's going to benefit from it.
Katie, I agree. I think Grayson does a nice microsite. I think
Well, that's good.
also, yeah, I think Grayson's is very nice. I also think, and it certainly takes some time, but if you build a Shopify store, which is not the easiest thing to do, but it's certainly doable. You can almost sort of cherry pick some items off RepSpark that you know are in inventory, and offer it up to members via your own sort of website. Maybe you pick 10 or 15 items that you like, that you know are going to be in inventory. You have to watch it to make sure that the vendors don't run out, but it's something, it's doing a bit of the microsite on your own, but it's certainly doable. It's not nothing, but it's certainly doable.
That's awesome. Thanks, Kirk.
Yeah.
Kirk, tell us about your opportunities at the show. What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, so a lot like Katie and Sam, I really don't use the show to see some of our main vendors that we carry most of our soft good merchandise from. We're also lucky here in this area to be able to meet with those people pretty easily. I think if you're in different parts of the country, you don't have that access. So, I try to use it, and Katie touched on it a little bit for creative purposes. You get a chance to meet with some of the designers inside the company, specifically for hats. I think hats is a category that has become so popular in the last few years. These are more accessories that people are buying, and they're buying a lot of them versus just a hat to keep the sun off them. Logos are very important with that. So I think you can see some creative ideas from their people behind the scenes that you don't often have access to. Similarly, t-shirts, and trying to come up with some new logo on a t-shirt that makes it different than you've had in the past. So I think it's a unique opportunity to meet with those people. I also am constantly looking around for knickknacks for the golf shop. I'm looking around for gift ideas for tournaments, ladies tournaments, men's tournaments, but things that we can put in the shop that basically is not a golf shirt, that makes us more of a full service place and draws the customer in. They aren't the biggest margin builders, but they do get you in the door, and hopefully they'll buy a shirt when they're in the door. And then past that, I like to look at some of the new vendors and make sure that we're up to speed. I think making sure that you're up to speed with what's going on, whether it be technology for your teaching or what's happening. I think it's really important to to stay ahead, not necessarily change or do something different, but just make sure that that you're not behind.
Yeah, when Katie mentioned California, last time I was out there, one of the things I enjoy doing is when I've gone down in that Carlsbad area is going down to Route 1, because there's so many great places to eat, but just a ton of surf shops.
Yeah.
So I always go into surf shops. I got teenage daughters, and so I bring them back. Every time I travel, I try to bring them back something from where I was, and especially for you out there, Kirk, it's just like that surf shop merchandise just seems like it would be very saleable. Especially like for you, for Tim out at South Fork. You guys are in beach community, so to speak. And my kids just love it. I mean, they're not surfers by any means, right? They go to the beach, but they don't surf. But I think that whole vibe of what the surf shop merchandise is, it's obviously some of it geared toward, younger people, your junior members or your younger 20 and 30 members. But I think there's just like, I'm seeing more and more of that when I go to the show, is more and more of these companies are, what's it, Johnny, and getting into that vibe of surf shop stuff that looks very, very marketable for your audiences.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Certainly here, we're catching people when they're on vacation more
Right.
than when you're at your day-to-day club, and they have that mentality with the beach so close. So certainly have a chance to sell hoodies and maybe more t-shirts, and I may even try swim trunks this year. Have not done that before. We'll see how that goes. Obviously lots of sunglasses and things, and anything that sort of they're using during their vacation time.
Well, I was down at Vanderbilt, and there's a Legends Club there that the university, their men's and women's golf teams, they have a club, they have their own clubhouse, they have their own locker rooms, and right in the middle of the basically it's a foyer welcoming room. They have the surfboard from Torrey Pines, which is part of the winner. So whoever wins Torrey Pines, in addition to their check, they get a surfboard. Right. And so they had the surfboard hanging there, and then they put all kinds of stuff around it. But I was thinking, for you in those beach communities, some kind of, surfboard motif, and, you could just build a whole pattern of, summer wear around that.
It's a good idea. And I might take up surfing too. What do you think?
Yeah, you be careful. Surfing's a lot harder than it looks. I've been there and tried that. Yeah. So you were talking to us earlier about gift favors and boutique items. Yeah. What are the things that appeal to your members out there?
Well, I'll tell you a little bit about, I guess, why I think it's important and maybe why I think it's a good idea to consider it. I think that ultimately as I said before, you're trying to draw people into your golf shop. And there's a lot of different angles to this, but so many times we have ladies who are headed off to a member guest, and they want to buy a gift for the person who's invited them, or they're going to someone's house for the evening and they need a party favor. I think the more you can make your golf shop a place that people come to do their shopping, not just to get a golf shirt, where they can find things outside of the golf world that really help them, I think the more successful you'll be. So, I mean, little stuff in no particular order, like we found a company that did custom Christmas ornaments, with our logo. We sell candles. My wife goes to the New York gift show every year. We even tried a little bit of jewelry this year, very inexpensive jewelry, but jewelry. And you wouldn't believe, how many ladies might pick that up as a gift for one of their friends. Tote bags, valuable pouches. We found a company locally on the island that does acrylic trays and ice buckets, and you don't carry a lot of merchandise in this, but it sort of gives you a section that draws people in. And then, at least for us, the great thing is that if it doesn't sell, often we can, give it away at some event for a longest drive or closer to the hole. We can sort of move it along. But the gist of it, I think, is to make your shop a place where people want to come and spend time, and they think of you in lots of different ways other than just apparel and golf bags and golf clubs.
For all of you, are you surprised at some of the things that people will buy? Do you have certain items in your shop that, like, you just wonder if it'll ever move, and it does?
Yeah,
Katie, you're shaking your head.
Certainly some of the things that they will, and I miss on clothing all the time. Some of the things that I'm just the prints and things that I cannot believe that will sell. I can't believe I bought it, and then I bring it in, and then it's the first to go. So I don't know what that says about me, but yes, I am somewhat surprised.
Well, ever since it became popular, I'm just a hoodie freak, right? I wore hoodies as a kid, and then they disappeared for a couple of years, right? A couple of decades. And now everybody's making hoodies in some way, shape, or form. And I just, my wife says she thinks I have as many hoodies as I do golf shirts now. I just love hoodies.
It's popular. You almost can't keep them. It's popular.
I got an email yesterday. Katie, do you all have any dog leashes right now?
There you go.
I have dog bowls. If you need
We do sell the dog bowls, the Yeti dog bowls, and that's another thing that, not one of my coworkers, Niall, has a dog, and so he's like, "Oh, let's bring these in. These are awesome." And I was like, "Well, okay, whatever you want to do." Well, we can't keep them in here, so you throw the logo on a few things and just try it, and then put the heat on them. If it doesn't sell, all right, that's yours now. You got to buy it.
Yeah, there you go. Now, congratulations. You owe me $28.50.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I think the idea of being unique, and carrying things that you never had considered carrying, is just makes you have an appeal to everybody, right?
Right. Definitely. There's no doubt. I think it's really important as you're putting it all together, certainly as you're trying to grow, because I think everybody's trying to figure out a way to grow. And I think that it adds an extra element, and without a ton of exposure, you really have to expose yourself if you're going to bring a new clothing line in or make a commitment to that. But you really don't have to in some of these, small accessory gift ideas.
Hey, Tim Garvin is your neighbor out there, and he had a question about Yeti. What's the setup process for Yeti?
So there's a contact, Tim. I can give you the contact. At least when I did it a few years ago, it's fairly simple. You fill out an account request. Uniquely about Yeti is that you have to be ready to order it. When you want to order it, you can't reserve it and do a ship date of, say, April. So you get, what's in inventory now, you have to take it. They do logos. There's another person, I'll have to think of their name, that's actually doing color logos on the Yetis now. It's a third party. So you buy the Yeti from them. It's a bit more expensive than if you go straight through Yeti, but it certainly looks really nice. But at least a few years ago, it was fairly simple to get an account.
All right, so that'd be good. We appreciate that, Kirk, if you follow up with Tim.
Yep.
Tim might need a dog bowl or leash too. You never know.
I have those. I have them.
Would I get a pre-show pricing on that for Tim?
Absolutely.
I think your ideas about strolling the show too, Katie, were really good, because I love just walking up and down the aisles and seeing who's there. Because I mean, when I go through the app, there's hundreds and hundreds of vendors, and a lot of times with the name of a company, you just don't know what they are until you click on them, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes the name is not, in my mind, is not appropriate for what the product is. And so I just like starting at one end. I'll start down there where the range balls, they have the setup with the range balls and the range finders, and then just kind of stroll up and down those aisles and find product.
Yeah,
because you
absolutely.
just never know what you're going to run into.
Yeah, I was going to say there's definitely a few booths that you just keep on walking, but there's definitely a few that have lured me in, and it's been very, very worthwhile.
I'm always surprised at where people get the money and why they want to bring that product to the PGA show. It's just like, it's amazing to me. It's like everybody wants to touch the golf industry, right?
Yeah, the beef jerky brands, barbecue sauces. Oh yeah.
Oh, you're talking edibles now.
They were in the new product zone this past year.
Well, what did you find last year? What was it? The covered bar? The cabin
Oh yeah,
bar?
I almost had a member buy one. It was the 19th hole.
Right.
Bar. I think they're like 90 grand. Yeah, I almost convinced her to get that because she lives right off 11 West, so that would have been perfect for all parties involved to hit that up while playing.
Yes, she could little cottage industry there, right? Selling right onto the golf course, or like a halfway house.
Yeah, that was in the like Ireland tourism section. So hopefully that'll be back this year. So everybody go check that out.
Yeah, what a surprise, right?
Yeah.
What about speaking of tourism, when your members are traveling, do you see them stocking up on outerwear and rain suits and so forth?
Yeah, we certainly will certainly get the sometime infrequently, hey, I'm going to go to Ireland and I need to make sure I have a great rain suit and prepared. I think a lot of people have been preparing for that for a while, and I think those items are so good now that there may not have been as much of that going on as there has been in the past, but we'll certainly get that idea, and in helping them, being able to help them prepare for maybe what they're going to need additional to a rain suit. I think that's one thing is technology's come a long way with keeping people insulated, and if you can have a few great ideas from Shoes or someone else that you may not stock, but you say, listen, you're really going to like this when you're in Ireland if you have it. I think that's a good
I found Galway Bay a few years ago, and I do a lot of teaching outdoors in the springtime, and they just have some great outerwear pants that also double as rain pants. So that I think the rain pants idea in golf is always, it's been a part of the industry that I thought was always lacking the rest of outerwear. But now they seem to be addressing, bottoms for men and for women that are much more, usable, wearable, and aren't real hot once that changes. So you can wear them all day long when you're outdoors, which has been really good. So what would you say, for both of you, and Sam, if you're still on at the show, is that you're hoping to come back with some products that you have not seen before? That's a big deal for both of you, because you seem to do the bulk of your buying in non-show related time.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that tournament gifts, you got to try to reinvent the wheel there. And John, back to the microsite idea, we have done that for the member guests the past 2 years. And I want to say one of our members to where Holderness and Bourne set up an online platform for, say they had, I believe it was like $200 to $300 per player to spend. And you could go on there and pick out what you want with the logo. What an idea
that is.
Yeah. So that's been,
I really like that,
a great tournament gift. But again, you obviously don't want to do that every single time, but the show is great for looking at different tournament gifting ideas that you might not carry it in the shop, but hey, this is something we could give out for. And then again, for me having all those outings, they always want something different for those Monday corporate or charity outings, just something they haven't seen before. So
I think that's a really good idea, like for those special tournaments, or for those of you that run invitationals, because then because if you're giving away gifts, then I'm gonna end up with a gift you give me, which may not be my color, my style, my size, or if you can get the size right, then, I don't have the opportunity. But, for me to go on and spend a couple $100, like you mentioned, I met John Bourne recently here in New York, and he was just like, he's very nice, very accommodating. I see his product in a lot of shops. And so it's just like setting up again, that microsite idea is fabulous.
Yeah, and we've done it, 2 different ways, to where they have a deadline they have to get their orders in by,
Right.
and then it's there for them to pick up the day of the event. Or we have it, they can do it anytime while the event's going on or before, after, and we'll just send it directly to them. That's probably your best option, because we have so many changes that happen. People have to bail out because of work or sickness or what have you. So if you book it ahead of time, all these changes could take place.
Bailing out of a member guest at Wingfoot, I'd have to be dead.
There's people that have
There's
different.
certain times you just
Yeah.
don't get sick or don't bail out,
Yeah.
Parting thoughts, Kirk.
Parting thoughts. I guess, I guess that I would tell you that I think social media, at least for us, has been an important factor the last few years. And I guess I would encourage people to try to embrace it. I think, we use Instagram, and I think, for a lot of people, it may feel intimidating on how to do it and how to do it well. I will tell you that you'll get better at it if you start practicing. I would suggest, like, buy a tripod, buy a light from Amazon, make sure that you Google and start to learn about the picture ratios and how you want to take it. I mean, these are all simple things that make it look really, really good right off the bat. I would suggest that you can connect with your members so much, and even if it doesn't account for sales, you're represented better. They think more highly of you because you're trying, you're engaging with them. I think it absolutely will help your sales. I think you'll be shocked to see how many people direct message you about an item that they saw. I would suggest trying to make the pictures look as best you can in the space you have. And then I would utilize stories if you're trying to sell, like, individual items maybe on sale, so those disappear. And then your page remains really nice. I would suggest, I think there's a lot of value in that if people really embrace that.
Katie, are you doing much with social media down there at the foot?
Yep, I just clicked these 2 bad boys to show you. We have a golf shop Instagram account, and as Kirk said, we have those things. We use with our big scoreboard printer, the big white pages. We run that, and then that's the backdrop for our photos. So
Okay.
that's a good idea if anybody needs that. We set it up in our storage room. But yeah, we showcase demo days that are coming up, highlight a few members here and there. But just, all right, these new shirts just came in the shop. Come check them out. And people, we throw something on there and we get multiple direct messages saying, "Go ahead and put that in my locker, charge me." Okay.
Nice. I can do that.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that might be a good idea for a seminar for us going forward, is to get some people together who are very good at this, because obviously it's just one more, like the microsite is one more platform to help you sell.
Yeah.
And we don't offer our Instagram account to where the Gen Pop can access it.
Right.
You have to either be a member or, someone, just because otherwise then it will, for tax purposes reasoning, and us not being a not-for-profit, it's a whole thing. And then this way, the members feel like it's a special thing that we're only offering to them.
Sure.
Very exclusive.
That's it. So I want to thank both of you for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure to have you. I think, the fact that you're along with Sam, our award winners from the past, is, goes a long way, because you have proven ideas that are working. And the thing that, I'm finding from all 3 of you this morning is that even though you've been very successful with what you've done in the past, you're continuing to come up with new ideas and new ways to engage your members in, new platforms. And Katie, the microsite idea, and Kirk, and Katie with the Instagram. because, technology's here to stay. There's no doubt about that, right? It's kind of taken over our lives. And for you to embrace it that way and include your members in it, is just a remarkable platform that, makes sales without a lot of, once you put that effort in, you're not, having to stand there, sell them. They're selling themselves.
Right.
So thank you both very much. I look forward to seeing you at the
Thank you.
show. Katie, I'll see you at that bar wagon.
I'll be there.
All right, look for you. Thank you
Thanks,
both
John.
very much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
So now we're going to move on to some of our sponsors who we have in-house here. And first up, we have the company Turtleson. And I met the Turtleson representative for the Met section last year at our spring meeting, Tammy Kaminsky. Unfortunately, Tammy is under the weather, so she's not going to be with us this morning. But we have Chris Warren, who is the Vice President of Sales and Merchandising, and he's not quite as cute as Tammy is, but he fills in admirably. Chris, welcome. Good morning.
Thank you, John. Thanks for having us. And I'm sorry Tammy couldn't be on here. She's sorry to miss it. She's a little under the weather.
Tammy's always good in person as well. So we can
Absolutely.
look for Tammy at the show. We want her ready so you can work her next week.
Yeah, she's getting rested up and ready for that and headed down there next week. And we're excited about the show. And
yes, you should be. You have great product lines. Like I said, I met Tammy last spring and I opened an account and she's been very good. Actually, I'm wearing one of your jackets, one of your shirts this morning, and hopefully Tammy sees online and sees me with this. But tell us a little bit about Turtleson. You're down in Bristol, Tennessee.
We're based out of Bristol, Tennessee. We've been around for about 7 or 8 years. The last 3 or 4 years, we've really seen tremendous growth in the brand nationwide and quite honestly, globally. We've got a really nice business going over in Scotland and Ireland and almost every better account across the ocean there. So the brand has really taken off in the last 3 or 4 years and all over the country. In the Met section, up until last year when we added Tammy, we had really not had great representation. So the brand is maybe just getting started up in your area. And we're very proud. We're very proud to be sponsoring the Met section again this year, as we did last year. And we're excited and honored to be a partner of you all's. And one thing we're doing to kick that off, and there'll be an email blast going out later today, is we're offering a new staff program, assistance program that anyone has access to. You don't have to be a Turtleson account to get it. You'll be getting an email blast later today with a link to one of our microsites. I heard Katie and mentioning what microsites before, and we certainly do a wonderful microsite. And the one advantage of this assistance program is it gives you a chance to kind of test drive that microsite and how it works. But what we're offering there is we got a great selection of product. You can pick and choose what you want, from knit shirts to layering pieces to outerwear. And you get by 3 or more pieces, you get 40% off of wholesale on it. We drop ship it straight to you. It's very easy. You don't have to be a Turtleson account. If you'd like to have it logoed with your club's logo, all you do is send Tammy your DST file and we'll add your logo to the product at no extra charge. And so we're just trying to get you all wearing some Turtleson and looking at the brand. I think you're going to like what you see. The quality of it, what we really push color to the forefront in our lines. There's always, especially for spring, it's nice and colorful. And again, it's an opportunity for you to test drive the product, to test drive our microsite. And on that email blast, Tammy's contact information, for those of you that don't know her or have a chance to meet her, is on there. You can reach out to her with any questions or anything you need. She's been in the men's clothing business for 30 years. She's just started in the golf business last year, but she has a tremendous wealth of experience in men's sportswear. So she can answer any and all of your questions. And
a high energy level.
Very much so. Yeah, there's no lack of energy there. That's for sure.
There's no lack of energy.
Yeah,
I got to sit in our awards dinner this year. I got to sit with Tammy. She joined us and a couple of friends, and Tammy's just she's a ball of energy, and she works very hard on your behalf. I know she did our Birdies program there, which is a fundraiser that our foundation does. Yeah, they did that at Silvermine last year, and Turtleson was kind enough to supply all of our golf professionals with their shirts and so forth. So you have a really nice product.
Yeah, thank you. She's done a wonderful job, getting the product, getting the brand started to build up there. She services the heck out of her account. She'll take extremely good care of you. Her response time, emails, phone calls, everything is like that. So we feel great about her and having her up in that section, and look forward to our business growing up there. And are so excited to be a sponsor of the Met section again also. And if you don't know anything about Turtleson, I realize some of you may not. We'll be in booth 5789 down in Orlando. And we look for you to please stop by. Feel free to take a look. Tammy will be there. I'll be there, along with our whole sales force, obviously. But we'd love to see you down there. We've got a beautiful product line for fall that we'll be showing. We also have spring set up if you need any at once good. We're in a really good inventory position. We've got product on the shelf. Everything we do, I'm in Bristol, Tennessee right now in our office. We have all of our own embroidery machines, our warehouse, our design studio, which is where I sit. Everything is under one roof. We're completely all under one roof. We do all of our own embroidery. It's really an efficient company and easy to do business with. So we'll.
So Chris, earlier Katie was mentioning microsites, and then you just mentioned microsites. So Turtleson's had the opportunity to set up microsites for various clubs.
We've done a ton of them, and we're really good at it. We've got a whole department dedicated to just that, and we do hundreds of member guests, members, various tournaments, charitable tournaments on the microsite. It's a year, and it's a very smooth operation. You can customize it to as tight of a package as you want to offer to as broad of a package as you want to offer. We don't really put any limitations on you. We show you the options. And again, with us, everything being kind of under one roof here, it gets, if you want it gets boxed, labeled with your member's name on it. It all ships cohesively. It's a really smooth operation, and we've got it nailed down. So we feel very confident in that microsite.
I'm glad you have those, because when Katie was talking about it, I knew you were next up.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I hope he has microsites.
Yeah, we definitely do. And I'll toot our own horn.
I just think it's a great way to do business.
Yeah.
It's like I can do business and I'm not carrying inventory.
Well, you made a great point earlier. If you give out a tea gift, not everybody wants the same thing, and a lot in the old way of doing it, everybody got, usually the same thing. This gives a guy, everybody's personality is a little different. Everybody likes different colors, different patterns. I heard someone talking about they can't believe all the wild prints that they're selling that they even put in their shop. I think that was Kirk. Some guys are looking for our line, we have solids, we have beautiful conservative stripes, we have wild prints as well. There's a whole gamut there. So you can pretty much service any member or guest for that matter on the microsite and show them a wide selection that they would normally not see.
I'm a very conservative, solid shirt kind of guy. And I've got I think 6 or 8 different printed shirts that Tammy talked me into.
Yeah.
And she tell me how good I'm going to look in them. So I hope she's right.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I got a whole drawer full that I'm gonna roll out here in the spring. Tell me, Chris, what is your background? Like, you're the VP of Sales and Merchandising, right?
Yeah.
Are you a apparel industry veteran here?
Yeah, I've been in the apparel industry my whole career. I've been with Turtleson now for 6 years, and I head up the design team here, and then also help run the sales force. My previous career for 20 years, I was with Bobby Jones Sportswear.
Okay.
During the heyday of that brand from the mid 90s up until 6-7 years ago when I came over here. And so I've been in this industry my whole career. I'm an avid golfer as well, and but I've been in the clothing business. I was in the men's sportswear business prior to the golf business, but I've been in the golf industry for 25 years now. So now,
where's Bristol located in Tennessee?
Bristol is in Eastern Tennessee. It's right where Virginia, North Carolina, and Tennessee meet.
Okay.
Actually, downtown Bristol, one side of the street's in Virginia and one side's in Tennessee. So
yeah, I wanted to be.
It's a great little small town, and the 2 owners of Turtleson are born and raised here. And their goal has always been to build a business and have it, in their hometown. And that's really the feeling that you get from this brand.
Yeah, last couple of years, I had the opportunity to go down to Nashville for different teaching seminars, and we were over there at the Vanderbilt Legends course.
Sure.
And I was just like, I'd never been to Tennessee before, and I just love it down there.
Yeah.
I'm trying, and not to mention downtown Nashville, right? Like who?
Yeah,
how
that's a
can you not
nice,
love it?
Nashville's a
But what I
great
liked about Nashville was you fly into the airport, and within 20 minutes you can be out, in the sticks.
Yeah, that's
It's
exactly
very
right.
interesting. It's a pretty place. The people were really nice.
Yeah.
And it was interesting when I started getting my stuff. I saw that Bristol. Now, or where are you from, Chris?
I'm from North Carolina, from a small to Greenville, North Carolina, which is out on the coast of North Carolina. But I make my home there, and I actually stay. I have a place here in Bristol as well, where I spend a lot of time
Okay.
in our office, and I travel a lot. I'll be up in your section this year at some point in time for sure.
Yeah, well, if
So-
you come before June, bring your outerwear.
I was there last week, actually, in the city.
That's you,
Yeah,
there-
it was
yeah,
cold.
we got to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not the time of life to visit New York, right?
Yeah.
But we've been fortunate. We've had very little snow here. So so again, your booth number is 5789.
5789. We'll be there all week. Please drop.
Right.
by
So
and
if our
see us.
members want to, they can get hold of Tammy to set up an appointment.
Absolutely. And in the email blast with the assistance program this afternoon will be all her contact information and the booth number as well. And we look forward to hopefully seeing some of you down there.
Yeah, Caitlin, who you met earlier, who got you in the room and everything. Caitlin works behind the scenes at our section office.
Yeah.
She does all the heavy lifting, so she'll be sure to take care of that. And then I'll look forward to seeing you down at the booth. And I'm going to tell you right now, I have all three of your hoodies.
Okay.
All right. So
Yeah.
I need some new colors this coming year. So see
We
what you
got
can do
'em.
for me on that.
We got
Right, 'cause
them
I
right
like
here.
to-
I got a whole rack of them. This is all the new stuff. We're just getting out and getting organized to head down to Orlando this weekend. So
Okay, I'll
We
take.
got
I'll be
plenty of
taking
new
one
ones.
in every color.
come and get it, John.
All right,
forward to
Chris,
seeing you
look
down there.
forward to it. Have a safe trip, and we'll see you in Orlando. And
Thank
thank
you
you
for
very
your
much.
time.
This assistance program is going to be really good.
Yeah, we're
I-
excited
it-
about it.
Yeah, you should be, because the assistants, obviously very hardworking, don't quite make the salaries that others do, and they're working their way through the system. So I'm sure they're going to be anxious to get some Turtleson and take advantage of that, what I would call great pricing.
Yeah,
You're doing everything but giving them away.
that's exactly right.
We appreciate that.
Thank you, John. Thanks for your
Thanks,
time
Chris.
today.
All
Absolutely.
right, sir.
Bye-bye.
Take care. So next, Nate, are you in the room?
I am here.
Hey, great. Nate Haregrove is the director of golf. Now, Nate works for a company called On Form. And being a teaching professional, I was very much interested in this product. I had met with the powers to be, so to speak, at On Form last year. And I had previously used a platform that notified me they were going out of business. So I had probably close to a year. And so I was looking for platforms that I could teach with, and that's what Nate's platform does, not only for golf, but it can do it for a number of sports. But the thing that intrigued me about it was it's a subscription based for me as the instructor, but I can share it with all my students who don't have to pay for it. And when I put this into my operation, Nate, what I found was that what would happen is I would engage my students with, those swings that you have up on that screen there, but I would be able to do, swings from their instruction sessions. I'm going in, I can do a voiceover. I can send that to them. They can take video themselves. They can send it back to me. So I found it helped me to get my students practicing, because now they're getting feedback. And so what I'd like you to do is to explain to our people here just what On Form is doing. Some of the things, you have some new features. I know I started the program probably back in the fall. So, I bought a year's subscription. And since then, you've had a number of updates to the software to make it, even more user-friendly. And you're always adding different components to it, which helps me engage my students. So if you would like to take us through what you're doing, I'd appreciate it.
I would love to. Thanks so much for having me on. I apologize.
And you're up in Detroit, right?
I am. I'm in Detroit. I had a last minute on-site coach meeting that I had at 10 o'clock, so I had to duck into a coffee shop. So I apologize for any background noise that is probably sure to come. But anyway, we'll jump in. So yeah, On Form was birthed just about 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years now in March. And our co-founders came from software space before. The one co-founder, you may recognize his work from UberSense, and he sold that technology over to Huddle Technique. He was the guy who wrote all the code for Huddle Technique. And then he came over and we started OnForm in 2020. Perfect time to launch an app is when the world's shutting down.
A good idea.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so what we are is we're very simply we're a app that allows you to capture, analyze, and share. And in doing that, we've allowed the coach to capture in multiple different ways. We are one of the only apps that have actually tapped into the camera's features, allowing you to work with the stop motion, shutter speed, and reduce blur, so you can actually see the hands at impact, the club head at impact, and then we've got different features in the app as well. So I'll just jump in super quick and kind of make this somewhat brief but somewhat informative. We will be at the show this year. We're booth 2173. So if you want to write that down, if not, we're in the back up by the fitness area next to a couple down from TPI, kind of next to Squares up in that top left corner. So OnForm in its simplest form is just an ability to capture and record video. And you can upload video if you want. So if you've got some video that you've saved from previous years, from previous systems, we allow our users and our coaches to upload video as well.
That is a really nice feature, because I was able to transfer videos that I had from other platforms that are no longer around, and I'll be able to transfer those right in to OnForm, which is a nice tool.
And we try to keep it simple too. The conversation I had this morning with the coaches, we built this platform, this software for coaches, literally by coaches. So when I'm out coaching, I want to know this is what I need, and we listen to other coaches and say what's going to make your life easier and more efficient, and that's hopefully what we've done with our app.
It's very meat and potatoes, common sense, easy to use. There's not a big learning curve there.
That's right.
You kind of you don't open it and just kind of feel your way around it, which I like. It was very easy to incorporate this into my teaching platform.
That's right. And you said meat. That's how I eat, meat and potatoes. My wife hates it. She wants all of the frills and stuff. I'm just a meat and potatoes. That's probably why this app is so simple. So if we just kind of jump into maybe just the start of the tools, I'll pick on this video of my son hitting some golf balls over Christmas time. And the first thing that we've done is that we built an AI model to recognize a golf swing. And so you see these 3 red dots down here at the bottom. This is the start of the golf swing. This is the top of the golf swing. This is at impact. We've actually built the model to understand a golf movement. It's the only one that we've trained so far. We've had baseball and softball coaches ask us for the model to understand that. But as soon as you set it in the auto detect mode and you make a golf swing, it will actually automatically capture. You don't have to start and stop. So this is a fantastic tool to set it and forget it. Set it as a second set of eyes for face on or down the line as I'm coaching. If I'm staring face on at my player and I want a recording of the down the line, I'll set it in auto detection mode. It'll capture his swing as soon as he takes it. The other thing that we've listened to coaches, and a lot of coaches draw lines and try to just point out certain parts of the golf swing. So we've trained the AI to find the human within the frame. And so that's what is done here is on this top left little gingerbread man. If I can turn it on and turn it off. And as soon as Connor starts to make a swing, I can then zoom in, just pinch with my fingers, show him where his trail arm is, his lead arm, whatever, his hip rotations or his hips. This AI is to visualize movement, not to measure yet, I say. We're in the process of conversing, and that's something that John, you and I talked about yesterday, of things to come. We're talking with some of the powers that be over at TPI for measuring pieces. So imagine this setting up for kind of like those Big 12 swing sequences that you have to go through. If it tells you that you've started the sway or the slide or your overextend, your early extension or casting or any of the movements, we're working to actually have that in the app. So that's kind of maybe a teaser of things to come.
I think that's I spent last week down at Caves Valley with a good friend of ours from the section here, Bernie Najar, who's is a instructor of the year down there in the Middle Atlantic section. And he does a lot of TPI screens. And it was kind of interesting that you mentioned TPI when we were talking about setting up this seminar, because I think that's really cool the way you guys are going to be able to interact with TPI, because, you know, one of the conversations Bernie and I had was, if there's one area of the golf industry that seems to be, you know, in my mind and his mind missing is the screens, you know, people doing screens and understanding just what can the person in front of you do. So I think that's going to be a great learning tool when you incorporate, you know, your two companies into the app here.
That's the goal. And while I'm talking to 50 plus golfers in the industry here, we're multidisciplined. So we're a video analysis tool. I've used this to coach. I painstakingly was volunteered to coach my daughter's volleyball team, junior high volleyball team last year. So I used the app to show the girls what they were doing wrong and the best of my ability. Weightlifting, CrossFit, things like that. You can use
my
this.
daughters are tennis players, and we go to the U.S. Open every year, and so
Yeah.
you know, we go to the outer courts because, you know, they want to see all the top lady players. And
Oh, absolutely.
so what I did this past September was I was using your platform and taking, you know, video of the tennis players. Not that not that I know how to teach tennis, but I just wanted my daughters to see.
That's exactly
You know,
right.
and so it's pretty cool, because you can take them through a motion and you can stop it at certain points in the swing. And so I thought that was very helpful for the kids to see really good tennis players and what they do.
And so even maybe to your point is, I showed you yesterday, and I showed coaches this a lot. It's just the compare feature. This is really probably not something new to coaches, but the ability just to take swings and here's Junior and I out both playing. You noticed how I said earlier, there's the auto detection mode. So that's what this is taking in. You still see the 3 red dots at the bottom. Well, as soon as I brought that in, it detected both swings and it took both swings to the same point. So now I can actually go back to the top and I can overlay Junior and Dad and say, man, he's a much better golfer than I am. I can move forward, move back. I can put the skeleton on there. I've got all the drawing tools I need. I can say, there's your left knee, there's Dad's right knee. I have pinch and zooms. I've got measuring tools, things like that, all within the app. So a really simple and quick feature for our students to compare themselves to different golfers, or even previous swings and things that they've done in the past and how they've improved.
Yeah, I think that's really a cool tool to have. And then you can do voiceovers and email them.
That's exactly right. Yep. So I can do a voiceover if I wanted to pick on my swing. The downside to doing a Zoom is that it doesn't allow me, the technologies don't work nicely together. But this little microphone button right here, if I click that, I can actually start to speak through the voiceover, tell them what I'm doing, why I'm putting lines in here, why I'm drawing circles. I can move it forward, move it back, and all while talking. If I wanted to go compare it to another video, it'll pause. I can go search for another video and come back and I can resume it. So if a barista's making a coffee, the dog's barking at the mailman, I can hit pause, come right back up and pick up where I left off on the voiceover. A couple other, maybe some highlight features, if you will, is from a coach's perspective, the organization piece, the ability to, as a coach, have different teams. So here's maybe the golf team that I have. Here's all the videos that are on our little golf team that I coach. And I can very easily have group chats too. So I just tap this little group message, and this is everyone on my golf team. And I can say, hey, this week, just a reminder, you need to send me your practice plan, what you're going to do on the tee on Thursday's practice. And so if I go in here to each of the kids, you can see here, coach, I hand wrote out my practice plan, or here's another picture, or here's the actual written out of the practice plan. So it allows some nice two-way interaction with my students that I can still send out a mass conversation email to them, or communication. They can individually chat back with us.
And what I do is at the end of the day, usually is I try to, before I shut it down for the day, is I just take all my lessons that day and then I go back in, I pull them up and I do some voiceovers, and put some circles and lines or whatever we're doing, right? And then just, and it just takes me, less than a minute to put a nice video together to send it out. And what I found is very helpful is when that person books again, because I see a lot of people, when that person books again, then I can go back and pull that up and review just exactly what we were working on. And
That's
then,
right.
you know, I'm prepared, and they're always impressed that I remember so well.
Well, you have an amazing memory. I do not. So we actually put this section in here called notes, and it's private just to you as the coach.
Right,
if I
I love
wanted to
that
say-
section.
This is notes just for me. Remember
Right.
the lesson. This is what we did. And you also mentioned the word booking. So we've actually integrated an opportunity for you to put in your booking link. So I personally use Calendly. Whatever it is, you can put it in here, and the students can go through and book a 30-minute meeting, a 30-minute lesson with me as a coach directly from the app as well. So we've integrated that. We are also integrated with Body Track, the pressure mat. So you can see, move this around, whatnot. You can see the pressure tracing in the swing. You've got dynamic vertical force. You've got COPV, center pressure velocity. We can move this around to actually match their feet. So I can go, there's my lead, there's my trail coming in an impact. So we've integrated also with Body Track. We've integrated with another company called Swing Balance, which is a shaft fitting system. They use the pressure mat. They use our app, and that'll actually give you a different color based on an algorithm, based on your trace, that will help you fit different shafts. So we've integrated with a company called Swing Balance. They'll be at the booth as well with us. And then let's see what else we on. Oh, the other thing that I'm completely off topic here, but I heard Katie mention something about tee gifts, and I think I heard Kirk mention something about go out, get on social media, get a tripod, which triggered at our booth this year. We're partnering with this. We've been with this company called iRange Sports. Kind of a shameless plug for you to check them out. I don't make
We
a
like
penny on
shameless
this.
plugs.
Okay, good. I don't make a penny on all this, but this is something that I personally use in all of my coaching. It's not a tripod. It's kind of like a monopod stick. You can see here, it fits in your golf bag. It comes with the base if you want to use it for maybe a turf or a flat surface. It also comes with just a simple spike. You can see here.
So you can use it outdoors, indoors.
You can use it
That's nice.
outdoors. I carry it with me. It's
Combination.
a magnetic on the back of your phone, and it works really well for us. Obviously, you can see we've partnered with iRange. They'll be at our booth as well. So maybe something else to give you a
No,
reason.
I
to
like that
stop by.
idea because and I like the idea that you can use it indoors, outdoors, right?
That's right. And it's customizable. I mean, I know Gene really well, so you can customize that public golf course you were talking about, Wingfoot, something like that. If you want to put that on there, any customization you want to put on there, you can throw on there.
That's
So
pretty cool.
anyway, you said you didn't mind shameless plugs, so I was throwing that at you. But back to
No,
the app, that's
No,
kind of
I'm big on shameless plugs.
a quick overview. We'd be happy to, if you come by, we'd be more than happy to stop by and give you a demo or walk you through anything, answer any questions you may have, whatever we can do to help.
You obviously have a wonderful product, right? I mean, I compared you to a number of different ones because I wasn't going to pull the trigger until I looked at everybody, because I wanted something that
Sure.
was simple, something easy to integrate, something I didn't have to spend 10 hours learning how to use. Because, from when I was switching over, I switched over in one day, right? And that's just the way it was. And one of the things that I most enjoyed about your company is meeting Gear Fisher. He was the nicest person. He took all of my really dumb questions and made me feel like they weren't dumb. Was very entertaining, great personality, just made me feel completely at ease because, the questions I was answering, he's probably only answered them 50,000 times, right? But it was like the first time he ever answered them. And I was really impressed at how at ease I felt dealing with him. And I liked the product. That's why I called him. And once I got online with him, he gave me a time, we got online and started chatting. I just felt like I made the right decision, because to me, it's like you can buy a lot of products in our industry, but I think that, the people aspect of it and how accommodating they are, to me is a big part because, I've always felt that our industry is a people industry.
Well, that's funny you said that. Is two things. Number one, we won't send this recording to Gear. We don't want them to hear that we
No,
I'm teasing,
not
for
at
sure.
all. For sure.
But number two, one of our goals is to actually, we want to humanize the app. We want you to know that we're real people. So within the app itself, if you came to this question mark and you hit get support, you're going to see a pop-up with one of the three of us. So there's Gear on the left, that's Steven, and this is myself. You send a message, it's going to pop up on my phone, and I'm either going to reply as quickly as I can or call you. Just another thing to say, we are really doing our best to humanize technology. We don't want you to feel lost I have answered more questions on how to run an iPad. How do I take a screen record? How do I take a screenshot? And I'm happy to do that. Gear and
No,
I
I
do
mean,
this
that's what you got.
day in and day out.
Right? You just
That's
happen
right.
to sell, you sell platforms, but yeah, the personal effects that I got from Gear were just like, it sold me that I had made the right decision.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, no, and I had contacted him about this seminar, and like within minutes, I had an email from both he and you about you coming on and doing this for us. So it's just like, I think support in technology is the hardest thing, and especially when we're having a problem, because you're always having a problem when you're doing it, and it's just the worst time in the world to, because you got a student in front of you. But you guys have been really good about stepping up and doing this and integrating. And I like the way that you're not sitting on your laurels, so to speak, that with this TPI thing, I think this is going to be really big for you.
It is.
And, I think you're going to have a great show because you got a great product.
Well, we like that. And we have one other integration we're working on, very, very close to finalizing, is with a launch monitor. So you're going to be able to record a 2D video and have your launch monitor ball data on there as well. So you can have body track, pressure mat, launch monitor. You can toggle over and do a TPI screening. So we're really trying to stay ahead of just recording and just analyzing. We're trying to make it more feature rich. So good things are coming.
No, it's been a very positive experience for me. And the one aspect of using your product that I did not anticipate was how many times my students, once I explained to them and show them how to use it, how much they're using it to give me feedback. Because my biggest challenge being an instructor is getting somebody to do what I want them to do. And so I get a lot of emails back with their video going over my notes to them, and is this correct? Is this position? This is what you want me to do? Do you want it done in this way? So you've made my students now interact with me because it's so easy to do, which is a big benefit to me because I can get them to follow through when I'm not with them.
That's
So
right. And that's
very helpful to me.
That's the one thing we wanted to include, and just making sure that kids are included and parents, they can be a part of a workspace. So you can have chats with mom or grandparents or the number one fan, whoever. You can try and keep everyone included that wants to be included.
Yes, and I like that idea where you can have a group of juniors and message them and interact with them kind of like in a positive way, like in a chat room, which actually you call it, right? There's your chat right there at the top.
Just a group. That's right.
Right. And then the other thing that I get, which I didn't expect, is I get a lot of people just using the app because they're filming themselves, and then I get the chat for them to set up their next lesson. So that's been an added benefit for me, to have them just like go into your chat and send me, can you see me, Friday morning at 9:30, right?
Sure.
So I found that my students are starting to use all the different aspects of OnForm, much like I use them. And so that's, that's been, again, a positive experience and very seamless, because I have some students who are, shall we say, challenged in certain areas, and your technology has made it very easy for them to interact with me, which I certainly appreciate.
That is awesome to hear. We look
You
forward to
guys are
seeing
doing a
everyone.
great job. I'm blown away, and all my friends who use it, a lot of our coaching friends here in the Med section use your app and interact with their students in that way. So it's it's been well received, and as full-time instructors, we're probably your toughest audience, as you well know, being one, because we want something that's simple to do and simple to use, and we're able to go ahead and use that.
It has to work when you need it. And when it doesn't work, you have to be able to quickly get a solution, and that's what we're doing for. So
you're going to be at the show starting Wednesday?
Yes, sir.
You do?
Yes,
are you guys doing demo day?
Yes, sir, we will. We're actually partnering We'll be at Square's booth. Square's
Okay.
is going to do some pressure mat and shoe testing, and they wanted to use our app, so we'll hang out at Square's for a little while.
Well, that should be
And then I've
interesting.
got some meetings and stuff on Tuesday night, but we'll be there Wednesday through Friday.
Okay, I think that's, yeah, it's gonna be interesting with Squares because they say a lot of things about their shoes, so it'll be interesting
Yeah.
if you guys get all that information as well.
Yeah, it'll be fun to be out there and meet everybody.
All right, Nate, thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure.
Congratulations on your Detroit Lions.
Yeah, they made it.
Well, you know what? I'm happy to see
Just
them
enough to
win.
give us
I mean,
more
it's just
hope.
like Detroit needed a good shot in the arm and the Lions certainly gave it to them. I'm a big NFL fan and neither one of our teams made the playoffs, but we're building as well again in Pittsburgh. But I'm glad to see your Lions get a good coach and win a bunch of games. I think it's great for your city.
Yeah, it's been a fun buzz around here. So
All right. We'll see you in Orlando.
thank you so
Nate.
much, John.
Thanks
Yes,
so
sir.
much.
We'll see you all
Appreciate
next
it.
week. All right,
All
appreciate it. Bye-bye.
All right, next, Golf Forever. We have Stacy Borowitz. Stacy, you there?
Yep. Can you hear me okay?
I can. What are you doing in sunshine?
Awesome. My name is Stacy Borkowski. I'm with the VP of Sales with Golf Forever, and I'm actually coming to you live from the beautiful PGA National Resort in West Palm Beach, Florida. So
Oh,
we are actually here.
tough work this morning, Stacy.
What's that?
A tough job this morning, huh?
Tough job. Hey, I live in Chicago. I can feel all your pain. Trust me.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
there
very
you
happy
go.
to be here right now.
All right, we forgive you.
So I appreciate that. So we're here taking golfers through the Golf Forever warm-up. And I just want to take a few minutes to tell you a little bit about Golf Forever and what it is. And we're going to go through a couple moves and then tell you a little bit about how you can come see us at the PGA Show. So Golf Forever is the leader in golf fitness currently. We have the mission to provide the tools and education to allow golfers to play the best they can at the highest level, free of pain for as long as they live. So that's why we call it Golf Forever, right? We do this through a customized app, which customizes a program for your body. And we pair physical products with that. So
What's your passcode?
the best way, 0922, sorry. The best way to experience and really experience the product is to come at the show and actually go through a few of the moves yourself. But we are lucky here today to have the famous Pete Holman. He's actually the co-creator of the swing trainer. Here's Pete. Oh, sorry, hold on. Yeah, okay, wait, can you hear us again? Good?
Yep, you guys are good.
Okay, thank you. So I've got the famous Pete Holman today, and super lucky to have him. He's actually the co-creator of the Golf Forever Swing Trainer. He's also the Fitness Leader of the Year in 2022, and he's the top-rated trainer in our app. So if you like what you see today, you can work out with him every single day. So we're going to take you through a few moves of how you can use the Golf Forever Swing Trainer, right?
Let's go. Guess who's taking us through the moves? It's you.
Lucky me. All right.
Okay.
It's gonna make me work.
Basically, we're going to do a rotation first. Listen, golf is all about rotational stability, control, and range of motion, and eventually rotational power. So all I'm going to ask Stacey to do is rotate away from the anchor point. And you notice this system puts an asymmetrical load on her body. So she's got to engage all her muscles from her shoulders down to her pelvic girdle. All those core muscles have to be engaged to hold this position. Now give me a couple reps in and out of that. Once you feel some core strength and some activation, then we want to move through the range of motion. That creates fluidity, creates balance, eventually, again, creates club head velocity and stronger hits. Okay, now, guess what? We're going to switch sides. Here's the challenge. Every golfer out there, you hit range balls, you play around, you're asymmetrically loading on a high-speed movement pattern over and over and over again. What do you got to do? You got to go to the opposite side and strengthen and train the opposite side. So we do the same thing from the opposite side. And this is one of our signature moves. It's a rotation. Notice the internal rotation of the lead hip, right? Guess what happens in golf? You got to internally rotate. Now we're building strength at the end range. Guess what happens in the rear hip? External rotation. That's what happens. That's what happens in golf. So we're strengthening this glute, opening up the hips, and mobilizing that thoracic spine. Now let's try another one of my favorite moves. You're going to face the anchor. We're going to do a roll with rotation. So now what Stacey's going to do, address posture is so important in golf. So she's going to pull to her chest. She's going to rotate a little bit. And then if you want to get spicy, you're going to reach a little. Lengthen the lever arm. Now we have an activation of the right shoulder to the left hip. That's the posterior spiral line. That's the X in the back of your body. Can you feel that left glute fire?
Oh yeah.
So now in your backswing, you don't just have range of motion, you actually have strength in your backswing. And then guess what we got to do? Opposite side, because we got to balance the body. So she's going to face the exact same way. You're going to change your hand position. And this is all in the app. We've got coaches that take you through this. And now reach just a little bit. There you go. And now you feel it in the opposite side.
Yep.
Now that's the left shoulder connected to the right hip. So again, we're balancing that X in the back of the body. You got an X in the front of your body, and it's demonstrated on your backswing. Look at the spiral lines in my shirt. You see how those lines go? That's how your muscles are organized in your body. It's designed for loading and unloading energy, kinetic potential energy. Okay, so now we've got, and not only does this help with rotational power, but it helps with your address position, the strength of the paraspinal muscles up and down the spine, help with your address position and help mitigate the risk of injury to your low back. Now let's put it all together, Stace. Come on. Let's have some fun with the golfer's
My favorite
impact.
one.
Now, try not to think too much golf. We're just thinking, take the resistance from high to low, sweep down, a little bit of a rear foot pivot mechanic here, right? So we unload the rear heel, get some weight into that lead leg as she swings through, and then she pauses at the end range. Now, give me a little speed. Come on, pop. There you go. One more pop. So now you get fluidity, balance, core strength, core activation, and that integrated movement pattern from head to toe that's going to help you with your golf game. We're not just about improving your golf performance, we're about improving your durability so you can keep playing golf into your 70s, 80s, 90s. And that's the name of the game, is we play more golf as we age, but yet do we physically activate our bodies? Do we work on core strength? Do we work on mobility? Do we work on posture? Do we work on alignment as we age? The answer, and I know you know this, the answer is no. We're trying to change that with the Golf Forever training system and the Golf Forever app.
Yeah, no, that was great. Hopefully you guys got a little bit of an idea. We're going to have PGA Show specials. We'll have Pete Holman himself at our booth at the show, booth 2681. Come see us. Check
By
it
the way,
out.
you
Yeah.
got to come. Even if you don't agree with this visually, come by to the show. Just get it in your hands. Let me take you through a 5-minute warm-up, and I guarantee you I'm going to change your mind at the show. Come by the show, please.
So it's a great tool for your students, for yourself. We have a new warm-up station. We have retail displays and ways to integrate it in your hitting bays, your simulators, a lot of really cool things happening with Golf Forever. So we're excited to show you.
And by the way, it comes with some handles, so you can take this cord off. Okay, you can attach a handle, and you can do all your shoulder exercises with the handle. We just were at a golf store here in South Florida, and one of the tour pros had a shoulder injury, and I said, man, you got to be doing your shoulder rotator cuff exercises and rehab exercises. And by the way, there's a whole workout on the app that's all about shoulder rehab and prehab.
Yeah.
So it's not just the swing trainer, it's not just the app, it's a system for improving your golf performance and improving your golf durability. Playing golf forever.
Love it. Do you have any questions before we sign off?
The stand that you have there, that's something that the golf professionals can put on their practice range?
Yes. So yeah, it's the first prototype. So we're going to have this one at the PGA Show, and it's actually on wheels. So kind of similar to what you think of a fitting cart, where you can just put right out to your driving range.
Right.
The idea is to have them on the driving range. It's self-service, so you can hook an iPad or a one-pager to it where someone can actually come, click a button, and warm up themselves. That's why we're calling it the 3-minute warm-up. We realize we're trying to change a behavior that doesn't exist, right? People pull up their golf cart, their car in the parking lot, they go right to the first tee, grab their cigar and their beer. And we're really trying to give us 3 minutes, and we'll change your body and allow you to get more repeatable swings, hit it further. It also has rooms for stakes in the ground, but it's a very heavy plate. It's not going anywhere. So it's easy to move, but heavy enough that it won't move out of the way. But that's a great question.
Yeah, well, I like the idea that you're actually, you're not only encouraging people to warm up, but you're showing them how to warm up. Right, because
exactly.
you don't what you see with warm-ups is somebody grabbing a couple of clubs and swinging them around their head a few times, right? But what I like what Pete's doing there is he's engaging the core, he's engaging the glutes, and he's making you stronger, physically stronger, and which is going to help you in your everyday life.
Exactly. I mean, what we find is it improves your golf game. but then it ends up improving your life, right? So warming up is the best way for someone to, sorry about the airplane, touch and feel our product and experience it, kind of like a demo day. But what we find is people love the feel of it. They want to take one home. It sells for $199. We have a wholesale program. It's not expensive for everything you get. And then any of your students or your members can use it at home. So the idea is if they're playing golf longer, feeling better, less injuries, they're going to buy more from you guys. So that's the goal, is to help you help your members play golf forever and ultimately increase revenue and engagement as well.
And it's all app based, so that there's training programs on the app that I can do them by myself, right?
Correct. Yeah. So it's all app based. It's a customized program. So the difference between Peloton and us is that it's customized to your body, right? So you go through a short assessment when you first download the app, and it will take you through a few different moves to see, can you raise your shoulder, right? Do you have a shoulder injury?
Right.
Based on how you answer those, it will give you a customized program every day. So the workouts you get will be different than the workouts I get, right? So it's really an amazing platform, because that way we can really fit any age, any skill level, and really appeal to everybody.
So it's like having Pete in my pocket.
That's right. I like that. Pete in my pocket. We might have to patent that one.
You can have it. You can have it. So Stacy, so if I come to the booth, Pete's going to put you through the drills, right?
Yeah.
No, man, you got me, buddy. 5 minutes. I want 5 minutes of your time. Come by.
You're going to get it.
Check out what we-
I need fitness, and I need stretching, and I need to fire my glutes.
Everybody does. And if COVID has taught us anything, if you don't bulletproof your body, if you don't have that bat suit on, you're not going to do well when trouble comes your way. So we're trying to improve your golf game, but also, I'm a strength coach and physical therapist. I just want people to live happily, ever after it. Health, wellness, vitality, live a strong life. You're going to feel better, and you're going to be able to do more things, including golf.
Well, Pete, I'm giving you a warning. You have 8 days to get ready for me. Get your energy
Pressure's on.
saved up.
Let's go.
Next Wednesday morning, I'm after you.
Okay.
I like it.
Can't
All
wait.
right, Stacy, we'll see you at the show.
You
Pete,
guys, thank
get
you
some
so much
rest.
for having us.
Thank you. We appreciate
Look
it.
forward to it. Thank you, guys.
All right, we'll see you in
Thank you.
Orlando.
Take
Thank
care.
Enjoy. Thank you. So that's pretty much our program for today. I want you to remember that we're going to be off next week. We're all going to be at the show, or most of us can be at the show. If you happen to see products at the show that you like, that you think are interesting, no matter what it is, if you would take a picture, send it to me with the name of the company. And because 2 weeks from today, we're going to have our junior development program. For those of you who are encouraged to build your junior programs, we're going to do that. And then the following week, we're going to have the show products. So we'll follow up with what we saw at the show. So thank you very much. If you have ideas what you'd like to see going forward, please let us have them. And again, register for all the upcoming seminars.